right, welcome back to another episode of BEG Wrestling, folks. We are here.
Wow, what an entrance. I just got blown away over here.
All right, folks, this week we're going to break down the 133-pound weight class, the too soon rankings.
Yeah.
We're going to give you the too soon rankings. We're going to talk about Gable Steveson. Gable, or what I want to call him, Gable Unstable Steveson. We're going to break down this decision to go back into college, baby. We're going to talk about an NIL violation. Summit Wrestling offering paychecks to win tournaments, dude. And I went deep dive. I went deep dive into the details, folks, and I'm here to tell you, this might be an NIL violation. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about RBY fighting in the UFC and Bo Nickel. RBY coming up soon. We're going to review some comments, and we might even mention who is going to be, or the best coach that is a current wrestler in the future. All right.
I'll dominate.
All that and more, but first of all, we got to mention our subscriber of the week, folks, and it has to be Slap the Mat. You know Slap the Mat. I know Slap the Mat. Slap the Mat. It's been a long time coming. We appreciate your support. I'm telling you right now.
We learn a thing or two off of
I'm
Slap.
telling you right now. Yeah, I want to know where you're from. We would love to make you an insider here.
He might just be feeding us, and we're buying it. No, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
I think he is too. I think he knows what he's talking about too. But either way, Slap the Mat. Email me your size and address. We're gonna send you a BEG Wrestling T-shirt, baby.
All right, Slap the Mat.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, Gable coming back. We got to talk about Gable coming back for technically his fourth year. I have a lot of questions about Gable. What are your initial thoughts with Gable coming back? Do you like it? Do you hate it?
I mean, first off, you say, well, anything that helps wrestling. And Gable, a lot of people want to watch Gable. He's such a fun heavyweight. He's so fluid. He's so athletic. He's so coordinated. And for that part, that maybe we'll get extra eyes on the big tournaments because Gable's in. I don't know. I'll sign up for anything that brings extra fans in. As far as Gable personally, I think it's weak. How about this? Here's a great comparison. Mm-hmm. Let's say you were a big stud, say sophomore at high school, just tearing it up, but somehow you still qualified. You could go down and play football at the junior high level, mm-hmm. and you did. And you went down there and just tore things up, and you're feeling you walk around with your chest. Ew, really? Let me tell you something. Bassett, last year, he could have, if he wanted to, he could have went to the Pennsylvania junior high states and went down there and won it. Mm-hmm. No, what did Bassett do? No, he's taking on seniors, the best seniors in the country, because he's a dog.
Well, that's a little different of a situation.
Different.
I would say.
I don't. Maybe the extra attention that it'll get his name out there more. A part of me can understand a little bit of what Gable's trying to do here, but dude, go take on a UFC fight. This coming back to college and stuff.
Well, that takes me to my second question, which is why? Why are you coming back? Like, what is the reason? I don't know, and I have not heard it from Gable. I mean, like, is it for the schooling? Because if it's for the schooling, I have no problem. I have no issue. Is it
here's the attention you ordered.
Or, okay, yes, is it because you lost some fame? And I know we talked about last episode what it's like after you lose the fame. And, you get in your own head, dude. I mean, and it is difficult to accept that long-term. If you live a life as a kid and you build up, and then you hit this pinnacle, and then, like, it's almost like a child movie star, dude.
No, wait, I can almost hear the fans now. If he has another year of eligibility left, he has a right to come back and wrestle.
Absolutely he does, folks. Absolutely he does. But is that the right thing to do? My question is, why? Why are you coming back? But before I get into my conclusion, like the other question I want to ask is like, who are his advisors? Who are Gable Steveson? I want to know who his advisors are, because I'm going to go down the list between like the previous allegations in college.
Does this tell us something about the WWE? Too? Yeah, because if the WWE has big plans for him, he have that much time he can go off to college wrestling? Because here's my star. I'm working with my star. We're about ready to unleash him. No, Mr. Gable, you can't go back to college. We got big plans here. But no, the answer was...
He was quoted in Flow saying that I want to be in the WWE a long time. So he has long-term plans to be, which leads me into my last question on Gable, which, okay, I've been in corporate America for 14 years. There's one saying, it's called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay? Now, that might be a little rude, but what is your goal? What is the goal? If I was talking to Gable right now, I would say, what is your end goal? Okay? Is it, like, I don't know, to get a better degree? Is it to improve at wrestling? Is it to make it in the UFC? Because how I feel about this decision to go back to wrestling really should be and is determined on actually understanding what his end goal is. Because if it's to get a degree, do I agree? Yes. If it's to improve at wrestling or win the Olympics, no, I don't agree with that. If it's to make it in the UFC, no, I don't agree with that either. So I have 1 out of 3 scenarios in which I agree with Gable's decision. I have 2 out of 3 which I don't.
Well, I don't like it. But if somebody out there is saying, well, if he was coming to Penn State, you sure would like it. Yeah, I guess you're right.
I wouldn't like it. Oh, by the way, is he going to Iowa?
Yeah,
there's rumors he's going to Iowa.
Well, here's the thing.
Is that possible?
The thing we don't know about Iowa is this whole betting scandal and who's entangled in that. So I don't know. You read rumors all the time.
Can't wait for that episode.
Rumors here. This guy might be out. That guy might be. We're going to find out eventually pretty soon who's entangled. But apparently it might be a big name or two.
I don't like that.
And
I don't like that.
Could Gable get big money by going to, well, apparently, I don't know, Michigan or Iowa, there's money flying all over the place.
All right, before we get into NIL, we'll talk about that. I got one last piece of advice for you, Gable. If I was sitting across from the table from you, Gable, right now, I've seen your WWE career. Obviously, you're a great wrestler. I have like one little piece of advice. I've listened to a ton of your interviews. Now, this may be small and this may be stupid. Voice influctuation, Gable. Influx your voice, dude. I'm not joking. Like, that's what works in the WWE. You got to get angry. You got to get wild. Like, that's what works. How many interviews of Gable I've listened to, I see no voice influctuation. It makes him sound like he's not entertaining when I think he isn't probably an entertaining dude.
Yeah, well,
you got to know how to sell it.
Some people are more passionate than other people, and Gable's got all kinds of talents, but I don't know how much passion he's able to express. And if you want to be very successful with WWE,
he's probably naturally a humble guy. I think he's naturally humble. I think that's why he seems out of his element in WWE.
I don't know. I mean, when he first hit
the
wrestling,
media wanted him to be the big breakout voice for a star, that they build him up to be that. I don't think he's naturally that guy at all. I don't think at all.
Yeah, I just
go watch his interviews. He is not Carter Strachey. I'll tell you that right now.
Rowdy Roddy Piper. This is back in the old days. The guy didn't look like anything special, but he was very, very passionate. And them interviews, I couldn't wait to watch a Rowdy Roddy interview. He's just, I mean, he put it out there. And that's the thing that I don't know if you can teach. Gable might be incredible at jumping off the top rope and doing all that stuff yet, but you got to be the salesman. And I don't know. I mean, he's under contract, so I'm sure WWE's trying to figure out, well, how can we use this guy?
Have you seen him up against Brock Lesnar? Yikes, dude. Gable is a small dude.
Yeah, and
Brock Lesnar, I'll tell you right now.
A small personality at this point.
Yeah.
And that's why he's back in college wrestling.
But I think that's who he naturally is. Yeah, and maybe that is, dude. And you know what? I don't hate that decision. I don't like it.
Well, if WWE's not giving him any gigs, and
why not?
Sitting around waiting for the World Championships, or actually at that point he'll be waiting for the Olympics, might as well do something. So if you look at it from that angle, I guess I don't blame Gable. If he's going to be sitting around WWE, he's not having or doesn't have him doing anything. So
why
might as well go
get in something.
Play with the college kids.
Hey, that was an argument for the world trial. Yeah, the world duels. Let's just action. Let's wrestle. Yeah. Hey, you can't hate on that. But all right, we got to move on because we have some breaking news here. The Summit Wrestling Academy, has announced, and I'll read this verbatim, wants to promote hard work, and we believe in motivating our athletes to succeed. We have a new program for the 2023-2024 season in which wrestlers can earn big wins. In order to qualify, you must be a current Champions Club or Novice Platinum member, attend 90% of Summit practices season, register under Summit. Now, tournaments are paying, and here, for example, USA Folk Style Nationals, you get paid $200. USA Greco Nationals, $200. Then you go to the World Series of Wrestling, Tulsa Kickoff, that's $300. Tulsa Flow, $300. Reno Worlds, $300. If you play second, 50% of that. Let me get your initial thoughts before I dive into this.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure you love it, don't you?
You could look at it this way. Would I rather pay this guy to win wrestling tournaments or him sit at home playing on his Xbox? I'd rather the kid be wrestling. However, the great thing about wrestling is all the life lessons that you get from it. So, like, I'm half on board, but the important half they missed. And that is, you know what? And we're talking about youth wrestlers here too, aren't we? Mm-hmm. This is your money, but you have to use it in this way. You have to, buy Christmas presents for a less fortunate kid. You get to go pick out the presents. You get to deliver the presents to whatever the less fortunate kid that's assigned to you. That's teach a life lesson along with it. As far as I'm just getting money, no, I'm an old fogey there. Quite frankly, I'm a little fed up with the whole money right now anyway.
I know you are.
I don't even want to get started. We'll get into this, but I mean, to me, are we on the brink of doing major damage to our beloved sport because of money? Because there's a lot of things that 10 years from now, I don't like the forecast. It's just...
I would agree with you. I don't like where it's headed, okay? And, the NIL deals are one thing, and college athletes are one thing. But if you get into high school, and I did a deep dive here, so we're talking about a program who includes wrestlers from college to high school. So I actually, did a little Google research here. What is the legality of paying wrestlers, okay, and the NIL deals? So the NIL deals, folks, are technically broken down state by state with what state it's legal in and which states it's not. So this club, Summit Wrestling Academy, is based in Minnesota, which it is status confirmed permitted, okay? And I'll read you the notes. In 2022, The Minnesota State High School League approved a policy to permit student athletes to monetize their NIL, with prohibitions on vice industries and intellectual property belonging to the school, conference, and league. More details in the full policy are printed in the official handbook at the end of the 200 series bylaws. That answers some questions, folks. Not all of them. So what do? We went into the bylaws. I read the bylaws. So I'm going to read you the bylaws here for the state of Minnesota. These are the 200.00 bylaws: student eligibility, amateur status. A student may not participate in league-sponsored activities unless a student is an amateur in that activity. Okay. A student loses their amateur status in that sport and becomes a professional if the student accepts any of the following participation in school or non-school activities. Number 1, a salary, cash, or merchandise. Okay? Now, let me give you the details of that. Now, actual and reasonable reimbursement for transportation, food, and lodging when paid in connection with travel to playing in contest or participating in a camp or clinic, they are not violations. So you can get paid to travel. If you have to travel, you get your gas, your hotel, that can be reimbursed. That's not illegal. A student may also receive a payment for officiating, instructing, teaching, or coaching a sport. Okay, so if they're coaching, they can get paid. Okay, so how do they lose their amateur status? 1, by accepting a salary, cash, or merchandise. And I just went into the details of what is technically legal under those terms. Now, number 2, a share in the season's profit. And number 3, an expense allowance for athletic tryouts. Now, I'll say this. There is, if you go down farther, less than $100 retail when received for non-school participation will not constitute a violation. So if it's less than $100, it does not constitute a violation. However, if we go back to these rewards numbers, under Summit Wrestling, I see no less than $100. So, I know what your next question is. What is the penalty? Okay, I'm going to read the penalty. A student who becomes a professional will be disqualified from further high school participation in that sport. I'm going to read you from Summit Wrestling Academy website. With every title our wrestlers win at one of the major tournaments, they will receive a personal check written from Summit Wrestling Academy. Tell me how this is not illegal.
Okay, are we done War and Peace? Because you're sounding like the old guy over
I'm sorry, I'm doing research, dude.
Shame on you. Shame. No, you're not.
Is illegal.
No cookies for you.
I'm sorry.
Cookies for you.
That's illegal.
Look, I don't like any of this money either. The NIL. I mean, I just want it audited. Can we have strict auditing? You know the thing about NIL?
I did. I just audited them. I did. And they violated it.
The thing about NIL is it's like the NCAA says, we've had it. Apparently, they did away with my suggestion in 1-year ban if you transfer because they're probably afraid to get sued. So they just said, just go ahead. Just take it. We've had it. But the thing is there's no auditing going on. And then you got this situation where you have either desperate coaches out there that, I hate to say it, this word's going to sting a little bit, you desperate coaches. You're selfish. You're more worried about you and your record than what's good for the individual kids or the wrestling in totality.
That absolutely happens. Absolutely, yeah. All sports.
Yeah. The thing is, well,
it led me to my next question. Who is so then I thought, okay, who is going to actually hold them accountable? So who does hold them accountable? So it comes down to the governing body, which is Minnesota State High School League. Minnesota State High School League. I just gave you a layup.
Wow.
I just gave you a layup. I've read you the rules, dude. Are you kidding me? Right? Or am I wrong? Am I reading the laws wrong?
I mean,
and by the way, I did mention, now this is state by state based. So I will go down a couple marquee states What states are NIL deals legal in, and what are they not legal in? Right? You wouldn't know that answer. So Minnesota, we just talked about. Obviously, yes. How about Iowa? Yes. Michigan? Yes, but with restrictions. Now, you guys are going to have to go into the details of the governing body documents, but Michigan is yes, but with restriction. New Jersey? Yes. Ohio? No. How about Ohio, dude? Ohio's not allowing NIL deals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think Pennsylvania's doing?
I don't know. It's a mess.
Yes. Pennsylvania's a yes. Here's the other detail I just want to mention. You know, Penn State is one of a handful of universities out there that their financial records are private. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You knew that. So we would never know if Penn State's paying NIL deals because their financial records are private in comparison to a university like Iowa who has public records.
Yeah. Well, I can only imagine the outcry for Summit Wrestling. Heck, back in the day when I was doing the website, there was an outcry when I started my top 100 achievers. And, you know, a lot of them people that don't like keeping score, this is wrong. Let the kids just have fun. And it's like, dude, whoa.
Step into the real world.
I mean, the kids are out there working hard. I'm not making anything up. I'm not even ranking or anything. I'm showing you, I'm taking all the results that I've accumulated and I pretty much kind of organized them. This is the ones that achieve the most out of all these tournaments. And it's like
facts.
A little star beside their name.
Yeah.
You know, they were out working hard. It was like when you played baseball, Zach.
Yeah.
And all the parents, they wanted, you know, Johnny, I noticed Johnny didn't play as many innings as Eddie. Well, you know, Eddie was out all winter long.
Busting his tail.
Yeah, working on his swing, taking ground balls. Johnny was downstairs playing Xbox. When I'm supposed to...
I hear Gable plays a lot of Xbox. Anyway, okay. Gable unstable. No, I'm just kidding. Although that's kind of what it looks like. I'm just saying, Gable, I don't know about your advisors. All right. Any final thoughts on the summit? This is going to get busted. This is going to get busted, dude.
I don't know.
This ain't going to actually.
I mean, there's
no one's ever going to actually get a check, dude.
There's so many angles to it. Like, I'm not sitting here saying.
I like the inspiration part, the motivation part.
Yeah, I think if the money.
Just
you could say this.
Okay, you know what Kelly said?
To be the devil's advocate, what if I said, okay, this kid can't go get a job because he's busy working wrestling.
Understood.
Why can't he make a little money?
Well, because that's the law as it stands right now. And here's what Kelly. I said, how would they possibly do this? Kelly said, I bet they're just working a way around it. So I bet they revise their website to say cut a personal check. And if they make it towards a college donation, then it's legal. Bam! ESPN, we just broke ESPN. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You just work around. There's so many loopholes in these NIL deals, boys. You just work around it, right? Yes. If you say, hey, it's towards your college tuition, then it probably is legal. I don't know. Anything else before?
Yeah, it's interesting, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that, dude, I read it, dude. It's like a one-page document. Right. I can tell you how many loopholes. If it's only one page, there's a lot of loopholes you can jump through. I can tell you that right now.
Well, to transition right off of that, what's your thoughts on, okay, Iowa brings in another two recruits. They bring in Caliendo and Franek. Mm-hmm. And
where are they going to fit them?
That's a good question. That's just
the first thing I think of. Where are they fitting in that lineup?
And there's so many angles to this. Is first off, I personally, and I'm not, I had the utmost respect for how Kennedy looked. I know he didn't have a great tournament, and Caliendo, he placed. I think he got sixth. But to me, we're talking about two wrestlers that are at the same level right now. And we'll see. I mean, it's all just now. Franek, you say, was a little bit of an upgrade from Seabrook, but before Seabrook hurt his shoulder, I thought he was going to be an AA too. So I don't know how much
I agree.
You could say, well, Frantic has got the potential to be in the finals. I mean, he could be top 2. And maybe you have a point, but I was impressed with Seabrook last year. Now, I don't know how the shoulder's doing. And we don't know how a lot of the behind the scenes, if anyone's entangled in this betting thing, but the whole thing, we don't know anything about any of this NIL. And that's the part that makes it frustrating, except it scares me. It scares a lot of wrestling fans about the direction it's taking our sport. Right now, we got 3 schools, the 3 monsters are out there grabbing up whoever they want. And
Penn State, Iowa, Michigan.
Now, I will say this about Penn State, and I'm going to sound like this is my Penn State homerism, but I'm going off of what I hear and what I see. And Askren himself said that talking to Mitchell Messenbrink says, I didn't get anything. So
I believe it.
And Askren believes him 100%. I personally think Nagao went to Penn State. He's a very faith-based guy. Penn State's a faith-driven team. I think that was a big part of that.
A big part, not all of it.
Maybe. The thing is, we don't know. But I do know this. I know Kale, watching Kale, I know he's a very principled guy, and he's got a code. It's like Omar from The Wire. A man's got to have a code. Kale has a code.
Well,
no one's going to argue that point.
Let me tell you something. The Pope had a code, and I seen that code broken. So let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy here.
I don't see it. Again, we're just stabbing in the dark. We're guessing because we don't know any of the facts.
Well, let me say this. Okay, you're acting like if Penn State paid a couple $1,000, it'd be like the worst sin in the world. I don't think it would be at all. Look, dude, Coach K, Duke basketball, refused the one and done. Okay, and then his team started dropping in the rank. And then he said, okay, I have to go with the flow. I have to some degree, transform and evolve with how the sport is evolving. I'm just saying, when eventually it does come out that Penn State paid a wrestler this amount of money, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
Here's the thing.
Because everyone else is obviously doing it, right?
Is there possible that a coach doesn't know, a rich booster or a rich alumni actually made a deal with the wrestler? Look, you come wrestle here at Penn State, I'm going to give you this much money, and Kale doesn't know about it? Yeah, that's actually possible. However, going off of how Kale seems to run things, we're talking about deeper issues here. We're talking about a loyalty to the rest of the guys on your team. And you bringing in a guy like, say, Teskey. Iowa wanted Nagao so bad, and Teskey had to hear they're willing to give him all this money. And, can I just stop right there and say, every guy that's transferred, I've heard rumors about the amount of money he's gotten. I personally have not heard a rumor about Truex, Nagao, or Messenbrink. Any rumors, any totals whatsoever. I'm saying Kale is the kind of coach that actually goes a step further. He's thinking about the unity of his team and whether there's turmoil there and how that affects not only their current team, but how recruits, potential incoming guys, are looking at this situation. And that might be the biggest affected part yet by these desperate coaches. They're out there buying people right and left. You're showing no loyalty to the guys that are on your team now. And if I'm a stud thinking, which college do I want to go to? Do I want to go to a college that, hey, you might bring in Joe All-Star right at my weight And like, I want to see loyalty to me, and I'll give it back to you. And all of a sudden, all that's not only gone, but not even thought about. Only thing's thought about is, I need a good team right now. I need to be this right now. And you got boosters throwing money. If Kale, it would not surprise me if Kale said, okay, incoming transfer, come here. Did you get any money from anybody to come here? And actually drilled them. Did you? Because that would be a wise coach, because the rest of the team's going to hear about it, and it's going to affect that team. And like I said,
well, I'll say this: I do not disagree with you in when you say that Kale is making decisions that are not worried about how it affects me only today. He's thinking about the future.
Yeah.
But I think that Kale has built up such an advantage in this sport that he has allowed himself that ability to make those decisions. Whereas someone like Tom Brands or almost every single other coach, dude, they're making decisions like, how do you beat them now? And those decisions may seem desperate, but I will agree with you. If you look at the foresight, if you look at the long view, the long play, dude, it is not good.
You know, the byproduct of this is nothing's going to get done with this portal and NIL, because no one knows what. I've read forums, I've listened to podcasts. I've not heard a good suggestion yet. The only good suggestion I think all of us can agree on is the 1 year ban, and apparently that's dead in the water. NCAA's given that up because they're tired of being sued. But you take Michigan. What we're going to see is, because I'm seeing your lack of loyalty to me, we're going to start to see big studs transferring out of the big programs and losing. And you talk about Michigan. They lost. Michigan lost 2 this year with McHenry going to Penn State and Chance Lamar, and that was a big one. That hurt them. The Lamar transfer out to Cal Poly hurt Michigan. And the thing is it's just.
Well, ultimately, you will see it come back. I mean, although who's in charge? I mean, the NCAA is a debacle. So, how long will it take to get this in structured in like the same, like something that makes sense?
It's the Wild West. We keep hearing that. The only avenue we have right now is like for the press and the fans to get on the people that are obviously, you cannot tell me it's not hurting the sport. Do I have to go in how this hurts the sport? We only have 3 or 4 awesome teams. So all them duels, a Lehigh against Ohio, or a Lehigh versus a Michigan, all of a sudden it's not even competitive because Michigan bought half of the All-Americans out there. I mean, all of a sudden there's less interest because the matches aren't as good. And then the interest drops, and you can see down the line 10 years, all of a sudden programs start dropping off because they can't even fill a small gym, and it's like, I've heard people say, well, dynasties are good for a sport. Okay. And what Kale's doing is incredible, but for the health of the sport, this whole NIL thing, I think the press and the fans, I think me and you should start something on this podcast alone and have whoever was the biggest offender be purchase agent of the year. Because like now, Bourmet and Brands are running neck and neck for purchase agent of the year.
I got an idea, though. How about this? Let's just start with this. We got to make small steps. How about let's make every state the same? The fact that I have to go into and research the handbook of individual states to see whether NIL deals are legal in this state or not, dude, let's start with standardizing it. That would make a lot of sense, but all right, we got to move on. Let's go into the 133-pound weight class. We're talking this upcoming season, who is going to finish, where they're going to finish. Let's start with Vito, right?
Well, I guess that's where he's going to be.
I did no research on Vito at all because does any research have to be done on Vito?
No, the only research is, will he stay at 33? of course. We've talked about that before. If he's going to move up, what Olympic weight is he going to, 57 or 65? And everyone's saying 57, which would mean he'll probably stay at 33 this year. We speculated that he would go 65 and maybe move up to 41. Guess it's not happening.
So we're going to make these picks based on the fact that Vito is at
33.
this weight. Okay. Now, I don't think I'm crazy by saying that we both have Vito finishing first. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but then we get into the breakdown. Now I'm gonna mention the WrestleStat. I'm gonna bring up the WrestleStat rankings along with the Flow rankings. But obviously both have Vito first. Both have Dayton Fix second. Now I'm gonna go WrestleStat from here on. We have Nagao third, Bird fourth, Sam Latona fifth. We have Kai Oreen sixth, Dylan Regason seventh, Michael Koliako eighth. Nick Bouzakis, who I think we're going to talk about, at 9. Zach Redding at 10. Teskey at 11. Now we'll go to Flo. Flo, Fix 2. Nagao 3. Latona 4. Orion 5. They have Connor McNoggle at 6. Lucas Bird at 7. Zach Redding at 8. Bouzakis, who I know we're talking about, at 9. We both have Vito first. Who do you have second? Because I want to break down who exactly. I know everyone's going Fix. Are you going Fix at number 2?
Well, I wanted to go Nagao, but how Fix looked against DeSanto, I mean, Fix ain't over the hill yet. And Fix is very good. So, yes, I got Fix too.
Fix, you do have Fix at 2. Fix is going to be like 26. He's 2-0 versus Nagao. He beat him 10-3, beat him 6-4. He's 1-0 versus Lucas Bird. That was a tight match, 3-2.
I'll tell you, here's a thought, not to break this up, but Fix is also going down to 57 for the Olympics. Fix, you want a title? Go down to 125. I don't know if he could get there. If he could get there, all of a sudden, is he seated?
Wide open weight class.
He's seated first.
I mean, Fix has always been that dude who's just right there.
He's right there.
Just cannot get over the hump. I don't want to. Let's not go back and forth, dude. Let's talk about. Give me your top 8.
All right, I went Fix 2.
Okay.
I went Nagao 3.
Okay.
And believe me, that's not a foregone conclusion either. Nagao had a great year, and he's now with some even incredible.
You went chalk.
Some incredible coaching, so everything on paper says Nagao's going to threaten here. No, he's not going to threaten Vito, but Vito ain't going to tear Nagao up. That's going to be a match. But
Certainly.
Here's the thing. Everyone's saying, okay, we got now at Michigan's got Cannon and Ragusin.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're not sure who's going there.
Yeah, we're not sure. Although, are you on board here? It makes more sense for Cannon to go up.
Yes.
And Ragusin.
I think that's what will happen.
Yeah. So
also, just to mention, Nagao has actually never wrestled Vito, so we have no track record on them.
That's true.
Continue on Ferguson and Cannon.
Yeah. Well, I got Ragusin as 4.
Or Ragusin. Okay.
Yeah, I got Ragusin as 4. I got Latona as 5.
Okay.
And I got Bird as 6.
Wow, dude. Bird that low.
I know, but
are you kidding me, dude? I'm gonna read you. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Okay, go ahead and finish your top 8 while I find Bird stats.
Okay, I got Bouzakis at 7. Now, and that leads us to another thing. What's Ohio State going to do with Mendez? Because Ohio State is solid. I mean, they have to be tempted to. I mean, Mendez could use his regular red shirt or Olympic red shirt. But I got a hunch.
That's a big question. Mendez
they got to be tempted to. Let's keep Mendez in there. Let's put Mendez out at 41. Of course, then they have to jump a bunch of people up. D'Amelio has to jump up. And then Sasso has to jump up. And Gallagher has to jump up. But they kind of fill a bit of a hole there. So.
Well, I mean, I have it in every single scenario. Who did you have at 7?
I had Bouzakis and I had Oreen at
You had
8.
Nick Bouzakis.
Yep.
This freshman, dude. Tell me about this freshman. I'll tell you about this freshman. Let me find his notes, dude.
Yeah,
but first, let me tell you about Lucas Bird. First of all, you have Bird at 6.
Yes.
Okay, he did lose 2 matches to Jesse Mendez. He's 1-1 versus Koliako. He's 1-1 versus Regason. He's 2-0 versus Cannon. He's 1-0 versus Teskey. He's 0-1 versus Nagao. Now, that was a sudden victory loss, 2-4.
Mm-hmm.
He's 1-0 versus Zach Redding, and he's 0-1 versus Fix, and that was only a 2-3 loss. And you're telling me Lucas Bird is getting 6th? He's a junior now.
Yeah, everything you just said there puts him at number 6. Everything you just said there puts him at number 6. You didn't name one guy that he beat that I have ranked higher.
He's 1-1 versus Regason. You have Regason at 4.
Please. Regason's.
he lost in Nagao 1-0 4-2 in sudden victory. Nagao at 3.
Dude, I like Bird.
Fix, he lost 2-3. 3-2. Come on.
I know. He's tough. He's the one we talked about before on our podcast. He looks like a nerd schoolboy, and he takes them glasses off and put the red cape on. I mean, the kid is tough, but yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he threatened.
Bird at 6. I feel like that's top disrespectful. Buzakis at 7. Who's your 8th? Who's coming in at 8th?
Oreen, or I got Oreen, North Carolina State.
Wow. Kai
Oreen.
All the way in 8. At 8?
Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me, dude. You don't know the stats, dude. Okay. Oh, my goodness. All right.
Stats. I got
First of all, how are we playing this? Are we playing this? Mendez is not in here, clearly. We're playing Regason is in.
And not Cannon.
And we're playing Buzakis. So we're playing. So here's the things, folks. Regason could be Cannon, Chris Cannon, which is actually, I think, and if you look at it, Cannon would be a downgrade. Regason is 3-0 versus Cannon in his career. Then we have Buzakis and Mendez. Either one could be at 133. However, didn't Mendez just move up a weight class in the former tournament? We anticipate Mendez is going to move up. We anticipate.
Yeah, he wrestled 65 kilograms. That's 143 pounds.
Yep. So we are anticipating that it will be Buzakis there. And, okay, I'll go down first of all, I have Vito. Obvious. Then I have, and I'm going to tell you this, Aaron Nagao finishing 2nd. And I'll tell you why. Aaron Nagao going to be a sophomore this year. He's currently ranked number 3 in Flow, number 3 at WrestleStat. I have his coaching at Penn State an A+. Okay, he's 2-0 versus Redding. He's 1-0 versus Bird. He lost to Cannon 7-4. He's 0-2 versus Fix. He lost 10-3, but then in the most recent match, 6-4. And he's beat Kayumin 5-4 last year. I'm banking on that Penn State coaching. I mean, whether I'm a Penn State fan or not, you got to bank on the coaching. I rank the coaching. There's factors here. I think Nagao, and he's a sophomore. So typically, freshmen make a big leap from the freshman season to the sophomore season.
True.
Nagao, I think he's making a big leap. I have Nagao actually at 2. I have Fix at 3. Fix, he's 26. Yeah, he's going to get 3rd.
Dr. Fix.
Dr. Fix. I have Lucas Bird. Lucas Bird at 4. Okay, as I mentioned, the people he beat, he lost to Nagao in sudden victory. He lost to Fix 3-2. I think Lucas Bird is a real deal, man. How is the Illinois coaching? Lucas Bird currently number 7 in Flow, number 4 at WrestleStat. Tell me, how good is he Illinois coaching?
Oh, well, I mean, Ed Ruth is over there. I mean, I like Illinois and the direction Illinois is going. There's no doubt. And we'll see. The thing about Lucas Bird, 2 years ago to last year, let's admit we didn't see a whole lot of change there. I mean, could you say
Well,
Bird was a little better last year than he was 2 years ago? You might say that. I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't notice, but
okay.
I will admit. I mean, he's
Okay.
dangerous. He's talented. He's good, and we'll see. We'll see.
We will see. We will see. Okay, I'm coming in with at number 5 is Dylan Regason. He's 3-0 versus Chris Cannon. So don't tell me that Cannon will be an equivalent at 133. Now he's not ranked in Flow. Flow does not actually have Regason even listed. What's going on there, Flow? Come on, dude. He's number 7 though in WrestleStat. He's at Michigan. Now he is 1-3 versus Bird. He's 1-2 versus Mendez. He's 0-1. He got pinned by Fix, but he did beat Latona 3-1. He's 1-0 versus Latona, and I think if you really break it down, these individual matchups, and if you look at the past matchups, I think Regason has the edge there. He comes in at 5. Then I'll move on to Sam Latona, who's going to be 6, currently ranked number 4 in Flow and number 5 in WrestleStat at Virginia Tech. He is 2-1 versus Kai Ornine. He lost to Regason 3-1. He beat Cannon 7-2.
Apparently,
He actually beat Vito previously.
I was going to say if Vito ever has another college loss, it'll probably be Latona.
Yeah, it's Latona. And I got Latona at 6. So Latona, the senior, he's going to make things happen this year. Then I got Kai Orine. He's 1-3 versus Latona. 0-1. He lost to Nagel 5-4, and he lost to McNoggle, which we haven't mentioned, Connor McNoggle. But NC State coaching. Kai currently ranked number 5 at Flow, number 6 at WrestleStat. I don't think it's crazy to say he's number 7. And then number 8, I have Nick Bouzakis, which this is a kid, we don't know much about this kid. He's a freshman. Currently ranked number 9 in Flow, number 9 in WrestleStat. He's at Ohio State. He won the U.S. Open U20 Open title at 61 kilograms, outscoring his opponent 71-8. He was at Wyoming Cemetery College Prep. He's from Tampa, Florida. Won the 2022 Michigan State Open. He was number 2 overall recruit this past year and number 1 overall at 132. Bouzakis, I think there's a much higher upside than 8 for Bouzakis, but I'll settle with him at 8.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is I think Bouzakis is it's like, depending on the style wrestler that he's wrestling, I've seen him kind of get handled before. He's obviously very talented. Heck, he's on the world team.
Yeah, he won U20.
Yeah. I'll tell you another one that's just down. They have him the whole way down at 19th. Flo does, is Julian Chilbove. And I obviously said his name wrong. I mean, you know his name from everything he accomplished in high school. Arizona State. I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the podium. I'll say that right now.
Okay.
But and then you got, like Teskey's there.
I was going to say Brody Teskey, number 13 in Flow, number 11 in WrestleStat. And, transfer from Penn State to Iowa.
Did you have Redding on your?
I do have Redding.
On your top, on the podium?
I don't have him on the podium, but I have him
he's going to be knocking.
Honorable mention list.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
He actually beat Nagao in the past in 2022. Now, he's 0-2 last year, but currently number 8 in Flow, number 10 in WrestleStat.
Yeah,
the Iowa State kid.
There's some talented young guys, too, coming in at 33, but do I think they're talented enough to land on the podium? I mean, you never know, but unlikely. Unlikely. I think the list is going to come from one of these guys that you just went over.
Okay.
As far as the podium. I'm not joking around, Fix. Drop down. You got to for the Olympics anyway. Drop down. Get used to that lower weight and grab yourself a title.
Yeah, but haven't you formerly mentioned how they shouldn't drop weight classes.
I agree
about that previously.
I know. I agree with that too. But is it going to happen? Is Vito going to go up to 65? No, he's going to drop down. And so many times that Americans do this, and it is what it is.
It's part of the culture. I don't understand it. I don't understand that culture.
I know one thing is if they don't do it quick enough and give their bodies a chance to stabilize at that new weight, they're affected. And I have to think, was that one of the problems with Gilman?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. I mean, he did not look himself, but
Oh.
I want to talk about RBY and Bo, both now in the UFC. But I want to first talk about RBY, who coming up on June 9th, folks. What is that, like Tuesday or something? Wednesday, this week, fighting in the UFC. It's his debut. He's going up against Alex Perez, and this ain't no Bo Nickel fight, dude. RBY is coming in and fighting some dogs. Alex Perez, currently ranked number 7 in the UFC flyweight. He's 24-7 overall, 5 KOs, 7 submissions. 5 of his losses have been by submission. He beat Kevin Gray in Dana White's Contender Season 5. This is RBY's first opponent.
This isn't any striking, though, is it? It's a grappling game.
Oh, it's a grappling.
Yes, it's grappling.
All right. RBY in a grappling game. What are we even talking about, dude?
It's like toddlers rolling around on the carpet. No, RBY, come on. I'm just kidding.
Fight RBY. Oh, my goodness, dude. I thought it was a fight.
No, Bo's in a fight.
Well, okay, RBY in this grapple game, only minus 145 against Perez. Perez plus 115.
Yeah.
How is that possible? If it's a grappling game, that's terrible for RBY, dude.
Well, I mean, you got your submissions and all that. And have you ever watched grappling?
No.
It's kind of weird looking. Like one guy will hurry up and
RBY, dude, stop. No, stop.
The guy will hurry up
about grappling.
lay
We're not
down.
talking about grappling.
He'll lay down on his back.
Bo's fighting July 8th against Gore. Bo minus 1250. Gore plus 800. Bo! Get a fight, Bo. Stop joking around. I'm about to put... I'll tell you what I'm about to...
This guy's not that bad. We'll probably
plus 800.
We'll probably see Bo take a hit. I think he'll get a hit in.
I hope so. Dude,
that's what the betting line should be.
I'm telling you right now.
Will Bo take a hit?
If Bo don't take a chin shot, I'm putting him up on my Mount Rushmore of people I'm about to throw around, dude, along with Putin. And who else out there? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Bo. I'm joking,
All
Bo.
good things take time. Bo's, believe me,
Bo's going to dominate that. Also, it's a little too late, but I was going to say vote for Bo's sister for like Men's Health or something. I don't know. Vote for her on something.
Get out of here.
Bo's sister smoke show, Nickel.
Did you look that up?
Oh my God. Right now, if I was single, oh,
Bo, I had nothing to do with this.
I did. And our final UFC fight we have to talk about Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. Whoa! They're fighting, dude.
No.
Yes, they are. Who you taking? I know who I got my money on. Elon Musk, that dog. That dog.
That's got to be fake.
No, Dana White said it's happening. Mark Zuckerberg is training. I'm still taking Elon, that dog. And I'll tell you right now, Elon is so smart, he will outsmart him. You know what he's going to do? He's going to pull the old Muhammad Ali. He's going to pull the rope-a-dope on him. That's how much smarter he is than Zuckerberg. I'm picking Elon. Plus, he's got the weight.
Look at daggone UFC. Do they know how to run a program?
I'm telling you right now, dude.
Oh, my goodness.
I say we get Kale and Tom Brands in a ring boxing.
Oh.
No wrestling. No wrestling. I want boxing. Can BEG sponsor that? All right, listen, we were going to get into OSU Michigan breakdown. We don't have time, folks. We're running late. So we're going to go straight into the We'll do that next week. We'll break down Ohio State, Michigan next week. We got to go into some comments from last week because we had a lot of them. And we'll start with Caitlin Dubon, 8138, disagrees with the singlet. Obviously, she's a female. And we said
that's what I said.
You said that they might lose some viewers, and she said, like casual friend Drew.
Well, casual friend Drew, we gotta have him back.
Hey, wow.
Going.
Caitlin Dubon likes the singlets. Okay. All right, then we have to address, I think you want to readdress what you were talking about with the world duels, because we had several comments. Slap the mat.
Yes.
C. Crumb, Asta, everyone making fun of you saying, duh, we have world duels. It's called the World Cup.
Okay, I didn't explain myself fully. At the very least, I want more. Of course, I know about the World Cup. We addressed it here on this podcast. What I want more than what was that World
Clarify
Cup? Was that 1 day or 2 days? It was 1 weekend. The World Cup's gone.
I know. Gone.
You know, with the World Cup in soccer, at least what was that last 2 weeks or something? I want even more than that. I want a regular season where we got the biggest matches every Saturday night, flow showing, Russia against Iran, USA against Mexico.
I would love that.
Every Saturday night, we got a three-peat of the duels. We got a place where we can use our second seed and our third seed, all the guys that are on the team but really don't hardly wrestle much. It's like, I want more. And I didn't explain that very well last time. But, there's so much more that can be done with world duels than what one tournament.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. All right. Then we got to move on. This is a big one, folks. I'm talking about Caden Henschel. We're talking about Caden Henschel, baby. Clash of Combat. Liked our last episode. Let's go. Thank you, guys. By the way, they said the best current athlete that would be the best coach is actually Bo Bartlett.
That's not a bad choice.
It's not a bad choice. I mean, my choice. I want to kind of talk about who my choice would be. Let's take a little left turn here.
Okay.
Who's your best current wrestler who would be a future? Don't look at my notes.
Oh, I already seen the name. Daggone, we're both on the same daggone page.
You stole who?
Peyton Robb.
No.
Everything he's gone through. I mean, the man was...
Peyton Robb, 4-time academic AA Big Ten. He's a 3-time NWCA Scholar AA. He's Tom Osborne Citizen Team in 2019. And the boy, I had categories. I really had this broken down. I had like improvement. I had academics. I had one of the big...
Overcoming obstacles.
Yep.
Like death?
Death? It's like no brainer. Peyton Robb.
Oh, Peyton Robb is an inspiration. In fact, I'm hoping that he actually takes a medical this year, gets all the way back, because I don't want to see him robbed of anything short of what he deserves. And quite frankly, he's most likely a future NCAA champ. And to come back so quickly after such a serious thing, I'm not saying he can't do it. I just want him 100% because he's sort of like Hendrickson. All of a sudden, we're all Peyton Robb fans.
Yep. Well, okay. I'll give you that. Someone who graduated last year, I just want to bring up, who was actually the inspiration behind my thought behind this whole idea, was actually, I thought Max Dean, dude. And now Max Dean, man.
That's not
now you want to talk about a workhorse and all academic team 2018 and 2020. This dude started at Cornell. Okay. You know him at Penn State, but he actually started at Cornell. So he was an Ivy Leaguer. And you saw his post-match interview after his last match as a senior. Mm-hmm. Dude, if there's someone I would want to be my head coach, that dude knows how to work hard. He improved throughout his career. He is smart, and he's been in the right culture. Max Dean would be someone I would want to be my head coach. Two other people I want to just name. Obviously, we got to talk about Nelson Brands. Nelson Brands, cousin Tom Brands. Now, he was also named Iowa's most improved wrestler 2 times. And he's in an academic all Big Ten on the dean's list. Nelson Brands, dude. Smart kid. Been living that life. You cannot tell me Nelson Brands won't be a great head coach in the future.
I can tell you that. Nelson Brands will. I don't know. He seems like a great guy.
All right.
He's not the guy that comes to mind for me.
Okay, one final person I want to mention would be Trent Hidlay. Now, Hayden Hidlay was named an assistant head coach at North Dakota State University.
Yes.
He was also 2021 and 2022 ACC All-Academic Team, the COCEDA Academic AA in 2022, and on the honors team. So Trent Hidlay, would he follow in his brother's footsteps and be a good coach along with Hidlay or no?
No.
And who do you have?
That's a good choice. All of them names that you said would have been good choices. I mean, you can name all kinds of guys here, but RBY, I think he'd be a great one.
That's interesting. Yeah,
I mean, he went
that.
through a rough little patch in his life, and he's very. I think he'd be a great head coach. I could name others, and
how about who would not be a good head coach? Spencer. I don't think Spencer would be a good head coach.
I don't know. I mean,
Gable. I don't.
No, Spencer knows everything about wrestling that there is to know.
I don't think Gable would be a good head coach. I don't think Carter would be a good head coach. I'm sorry. Here's what I look at when I look at head coaches. I think greatness without the ego.
Well,
right?
I gotta say,
because you gotta. If your ego is that high, how can you translate that into other wrestlers?
If you follow who's the biggest successes right now, the number one guy, Cale Sanderson. Yeah, you're not talking about a very big ego, so you're on to something.
No ego, none.
Yeah, and in all seriousness, I don't know. We don't know. So if
I know, no, we do know. I just told you, folks.
I know.
They're going to lock it in, throw away the key, hire them as a head coach if you're hiring in the next couple years. One of them names, Peyton Robb. I'm telling you right now. We got to move on. Drama King, one of our loyal fans, says the absolute main change needed is stalling needs to be called aggressively. No more willow wands playing defense after getting a riding point or a single takedown. 3 unanswered shots would be a stall. 1 more is a point. The wrestler then chooses up, down, neutral to start to get a shot. Escape point, shot, takedown. This will get things done. Get it done, NCAA.
Here's the thing. That's all in the rules. Everything but for some reason, the refs don't. I mean, we're going to find out this coming year from the top position, if you're not trying to turn the guy, how aggressive are they finally going to get with calling stalling on the top guy. But
I think it'll start off real fast and kind of die down. They'll kind of find their way, right?
That's a tough thing. I mean.
All right.
But
I think we all agree we want more aggression.
Absolutely agree.
Okay. Asta, the tick. It's a part of wrestling culture. The old head tick, dude. Did David Taylor, can someone research that to get clarification?
I'm sure one of the fans out there knows where that started. But
all right, dude, we're running long here, but I got one final. I'm talking Jacob 4552. And don't you read my notes, because Jacob, you are our first nominee for a BEG Wrestling pair of underwear for being our Debbie Downer of the week. He says, both these guys are casual fans. Now, I know he wasn't talking about you, but I know you were talking about me, Jacob. I know you were talking about me. When me and Drew were on, he says both these guys. And this ain't the first time, Jacob. I love you.
I know. I know.
I love you.
I'm here.
First of all.
I'm here. You can call me a bad communicator. You can call me all kinds of names. Casual fan does not fit.
You just set that boy at the wrong.
Does not fit.
But I want to reward you, Jacob, for your, just honest response. And we want to send you a pair of BEG underwear, our face on the crotch. Wear it for your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hot dog. Now, if you want to talk about a hot dog, put on a pair of them BEG underwear. Hot dog! All right, you got anything else, dude? We got to hold on until Michigan, Ohio State next week, baby.
Yes.
We're at it.
And
way long.
Just please, hit the subscriptions. We need subscriptions.
Yeah. Subscribe
and get your friends too. I mean, the thing is we got to see that we're growing. We're an hour away. One of the things the guy says, do more than one show. We actually want to, and we're going to squeeze that in once in a while. However, We're like an hour apart.
Well, this is the off season. You wait till the regular season, baby, because we're about to turn it up. I'm about to turn it up, and we're about to go to.
You talk about one thing that'll juice you up is just seeing that someone's watching and seeing the subscriptions going like this. I don't care. It doesn't have to be at a fast pace.
I gotta tell you, I just absolutely hate asking for like and subscribe.
I know.
But I know we gotta do it. So like and subscribe. I hate it.
I know.
Because we bring content, folks, here at BEG Wrestling. What's our saying? We are here. That's what I'm talking about. This is BEG Wrestling, baby. Until
we are here.
week, we'll be back.